students, in this class, we will be learning one of the type of adjective, a very special type of adjective, which is called absolute adjective. Absolute adjective. Now, first of all, what is adjective? Adjectives are words that are used to describe a noun or a pronoun. Adjective gives us more information about a noun or the pronoun in the sentence. Now, for instance, you have the word, it is a round ball. So I'm going to write that down. It is a round ball. Now, one thing you should know is that adjective comes before the noun. And adjective is always close to the noun because it is literally giving us more information about the noun. Now, it is a round ball. The noun in this sentence is ball, and the adjective is round. So it is not just it is a ball. The round, that is the word round, gives us more information about the noun ball. Now, adjective does not just describe a noun or a pronoun. Adjective also give us its quality. Adjective gives us its quality. When I mean quality, quality tells us of what kind is being talked about in that sentence. Meaning, how does that noun looks like? In a very simpler way, how does the noun look like? Under the type of adjective, we have adjective of quality. Adjective of quality tells us or answer the question of what kind, meaning how does that noun looks like. So under adjective of quality, you get to know the color of the noun or the size of the noun, the height of the noun, and so on. Now, and also the shape of the noun in the sentence. Now, if you look at this sentence, it says it is a round ball. So the noun is ball and the adjective is round. That is the quality that is being described is the word round. So the ball is a round ball. Now let's move on to our topic for today. He said absolute adjective are adjective that describe a quality in its highest or extreme form and therefore cannot be compared using more or most. I'll read again. Absolute adjectives are adjectives that describe a quality in its highest or extreme form and therefore cannot be compared using more or most. Please do well to listen attentively. Now, absolute adjective describe the quality of the noun. So like I said earlier, quality means of what kind. How does the noun looks like? So instead of you just telling us about the noun in the sentence, you can tell us how the noun looks like. So take for instance, we have the building. If you are to add an adjective to that sentence, we have the tall building. So the building is of what kind? The building is tall. That word tall is the quality of that is used to describe the building. I'll come again. So we have the sentence the tall building. The word tall is the quality that is used to describe the noun. And what is the noun? Building. So it tells us what kind of building is that. The building is tall. So adjective of quality answers the question what kind. While for absolute adjective describe that quality in its highest, complete or extreme form and you do not compare it. Most times, whenever we want to compare two things together, we use the word more or most. So you can say this book is more interesting than that one. This book is more interesting than that word. Now, you've used the word more to compare two things. Simply means that there are two books. Probably you read two books and you found out that one is more interesting than the other. We also have most. Most is used to compare three or more people or things together. So you get to see the sentence, this is the most interesting book I have ever read. This is the most interesting book I have ever read. So when you use most in the sentence, you've compared three or more books that you've read so far. But absolute adjective is totally different. Absolute adjective gives the noun a quality in its complete or extreme form, and when you use an absolute adjective, you do not need to add more or most. So an absolute adjective is not compared, unlike other adjective. Now, if you look at this sentence, it is a round ball. The word round is an absolute adjective. We can't say it is a rounder ball. No, it is very incorrect. Or say it is a more round ball. It is totally incorrect. Now, let's go through the examples of absolute adjective. The first example is perfect. Perfect. Perfect means without any fault. Without any fault. The second example is unique. Unique. Unique means one of a kind. One of a kind. Then the next example is total. Total means whole or complete. Then the word excellent. Excellent means extremely good. Then lastly, we have superior. Superior means of higher quality. Of higher quality. Now, when we use them in sentence, this is what we get. The design is perfect. The design is perfect. Now, the word perfect is used as an absolute adjective. So you do not say the design is more perfect or the design is most perfect, because perfect means without any fault. So the design is okay on its own. In fact, it is extremely good. You do not need to compare it to other designs. The next example is every person has a unique talent. Every person has a unique talent. Now, the word unique is an absolute adjective. It is describing the word talent. So, talent is a noun. So, the word unique describes the word talent. Now, and it is also giving it a quality. And it's saying that the talent is unique. Now, what is unique? Unique means one of a kind. So, unique is a word that is already in its complete form. You do not need to add every person has a more unique talent or every person has a most unique talent. The word unique is not compared to any other thing. Now, the next example is he made a total recovery after the illness. He made a total recovery after the illness. Now, the absolute adjective is total. Total. Now, the word total means whole or complete. So you don't say he made a more total recovery after the illness or he made a most total recovery after the illness. Now, the next example is our performance was excellent. Our performance was excellent. So excellent is the absolute adjective. Now, what is the meaning of excellent? Excellent means extremely good. So you don't need to compare our performance to someone else because ours was extremely good. Now, excellent is an absolute adjective. So you don't say a performance was more excellent. That is wrong. Or you say a performance was most excellent. That is totally wrong. So excellent as an absolute adjective is in its complete and highest form. You do not need to compare it with any other thing. Now, the last says, this phone is superior to the other one. This phone is superior to the other one. Now, the absolute adjective is superior, meaning the phone is way better than the other. Superior means of higher quality, meaning you can't compare this phone to the other phones. So let's take for instance, we have probably two kind of phones, and then you use both phones and you figure out that the first phone you bought is actually of higher quality than the second one. So you don't say this phone is more superior. It cannot be compared because the first phone you use is just way better than the other one. So you use the word this phone is superior to the other one. So like I said earlier, absolute adjectives are not to be compared.